Hello and welcome to the first episode of Oshin Plays Wargroove. This is a turn-based tactic game, very similar to Advance Wars, and all of the same mechanics like having units and capturing buildings. And it just came out of I don't think it was in beta, but it just came out on Steam very recently by Chucklefish, the guys who made Stardew Valley. And in this episode, I'm going to be doing multiplayer with a very special guest.
Hi, it's me, LadyNightLight.
It is, in fact, LadyNightLight. So, we're going to play together and we're going to find out. Every single series I've done on my channel so far has been some form of me competing with George to show who is a smarter and better human being. And this series is going to be no exception because it's just going to be kind of a very basic, very default level. I don't even think I've got docs turned on. That's how default, we don't even use docs here. So, we're going to just fight each other to the death while explaining what's going on in the process. So right now it's my... By the way, I'm going to be talking over you extremely frequently for the first episode, just to kind of explain what's going on. I'm terrible, but she's used to it, so it's okay.
It's all G.
So, as you can see here, I'm kind of... so I control these green units, and George controls these blue units. And it's our job to basically either capture their fort here, or kill their commander. Which I am at a severe disadvantage with, because her commander is a dog, and I have to murder that, so I'm going straight for the... Don't tell her this, but I'm going straight for the tower victory. If you capture buildings, you get more income, which you can use to buy these characters. Holy fuck, that's a lot of characters. We have only gotten maybe to the 3rd or 4th level, yeah?
Yeah, we haven't even finished the tutorial yet, really.
Yeah, exactly. We got halfway through the tutorial and we were like, fuck it, it'll be fun, we'll go blind. So now we're going, not blind, but we know how to play, and I'm going to give, and I know enough to tutorialise you, and I've read enough wiki to tutorialise you all. But basically, see, we have money here, and the cost that they cost to create is here. They all have different strengths and weaknesses, like this person is vulnerable to fucking everything, but effective against this one magic little man. They also can do critical hits when they go through certain conditions. This guy gets critical hits when he's adjacent to his commander, which in my case is this I believe it's this guy. Is it this guy? It is... yes, it's this guy. So when he's standing next to him, he gets a critical hit. And your commander also has special abilities, which we'll cover later. The last thing before we get started is that if you capture these houses, you will get more money and more gold, which you can use to buy more commanders and stuff like that. So it's a great game, it's really, really fun, very, very similar to Advance Wars, if anyone has played that. So for now, I think we should get started, after the most boring intro to any video outside of my Morrowind video.
Well, I just noticed, I was looking at like who's effective against what, and I think the characters we have chosen, ironically, are kind of the fairy and dragon of Pokemon, in that I think we're both weak to each other.
Oh no. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a quick game. That'll speed things along quite effectively. I am going to buy a Quagmot because it is cute. And look at this thing!
Oh my god!
I shouldn't be showing you this, but look how cute this little derpy... His mouth is above his eyes.
Oh, I'm gonna adopt him.
Critical hit when another dog unit is adjacent to the target. Why am I playing this dog? This is like a feral dog versus a very well-trained dog. And, oh no, sorry, I believe this is who the hell is this? Who are you?
I think that's one of your soldiers.
Oh, I see, right, sorry. I thought that was my commander, and I was like, please get back. If you die, I'm screwed.
I think your commander has mantis hands, and he's back in your place.
How is he going to capture anything? He can't even pick things up. This is terrible. Right, oh, by the way, so this is me capturing. When you capture a building, also your turn ends automatically, so now it is LadyNightLight, let's go. But, so yeah, if you have any things you want to talk about, just fucking interrupt me, I don't really care. It's what I do it to myself in my videos.
Well, basically, I am extremely tactical with these games in that I usually just pick the cutest characters. I am complete trash. But, I don't have as much experience with Advance Wars and Fire Emblem and that as Oshin, but I have played a lot more Disgaea, so hopefully that will be an advantage to me.
She has gotten me really into Disgaea, which is a great game that I was not expecting to love that much, but I played the first one and I was terrible, just 100%, because it sounds like I'm going to be like massively over, like way more experienced in this. I'm really not, because George she picks up on things a lot quicker than I do. And she also, I was playing Disgaea with her one day and I was terrible at it. I was absolutely awful. But she came over to my house and showed me how to play. And first of all, she taught me that I could save the game between combat. That changed my life. And second, she taught me that just different tactics, how to use different things. So she picks up on strategy and stuff like that very, very quickly. So I'm more worried than it would seem, that my extreme overconfidence in all of my other series has come back to bite me in the arse with. So while we're doing this,
can I just ask how you make? Oh, I found it. Never
okay,
mind.
fantastic. Glad to see how quickly she learns. It's crazy. You can't see what she's doing in her screen right now, so you're gonna have to just listen to communication. But that's okay because it's kind of like,
Oh my god!
oh no.
I can have puppy.
George has just found the puppy option. She also has smaller dog. What a pandering, amazing game this is. I do want to say, this is the puppy creature which she has bought. What do you do? A quick unit, critical hit when another dog unit is adjacent to the target. Are you going full dog build?
Maybe. Can I tell you the stats of my main commander?
Please, yes.
His little info is he is Queen Mercia's dog, a Cherrystone general, and a very, very good boy.
Oh, fuck, I'm screwed. My thing doesn't say anything about how good of a boy my commanders are.
I want to know how you use grooves.
Grooves?
Yeah.
Oh, the special abilities.
Yeah.
Yes, we should talk about that actually. So, like I said, every commander has a special ability that they can use, and I don't know how. If it's anything like Advanced Wars, you just move them, and then they'll be like, "Hey, you only use your groove." It's like the Emperor's New Groove movie. That was a terrible, awful joke. But what? Have you ever made a joke so bad you got flustered and forgot what you were talking about? So yeah, if you move up your character, my character, for example, he can use his attack, and if he'll do 35% of their HP to that target, and if that kills the enemy, he gets a second attack and can make a second move in the turn. If George's character, do you want to talk about what your character does?
So far as I could read, he is so good and inspirational that he will inspire his units to take a second action if he uses his groove.
You know, like what you see those memes that are like, it's a picture of a dog and the dog like licks its nose and the character is like, I would die for you. That is basically what your dog's superpower is. It just inspires people to be better with their lives. And I'm completely okay with that because I don't know who, because I haven't used this character before in the game. Like I said, I've only made it 4 levels into the game, so I'm not doing too well with this. I don't know how to play. I don't know the strategies of this. This game came out yesterday, so I'm a bit behind with that. I don't even know what most of these people do. I should actually check. In fact, I should run through what the main characters do with this. So the first one's the slasher. It's basically infantry. Does generally what you'd expect any character to do. It's the weakest character, but it's also the cheapest. The stabber, I don't know this. Oh, he's the basically the lance man equivalent. If he's next to another spearman, he. I said that like it was a mint. If he's next to another spearman, he will get a critical hit, which is double damage. Quagbot, if he's next to another dog, any dog type, he will get a critical hit. Wagon can transport characters further and further away, so he moves more distance. Good for like capturing buildings far away. The shaman, he can. If there's air things, there are actually no airports or whatever they're called in this game.
What?
In this, in Advance Wars, there was like airports, and airports could make different units, and those units would do things like they could fly further and drop bombs on you. It was great. And it's the same in this game. And shamans are great anti-air specialists. So they're basically, anyone who's played Advance Wars will know they're like the anti-airs. The shooter, they are ranged people. If they don't move in the turn that they attack, they get a critical hit. They're really good because they can move and attack, but they can also stay still and do double damage. So they're great for defending. Green Guard, they are adorable. They're basically the knights, and they crit when they move 6 spaces and do an attack. Ballista is, they cannot move and attack in the same turn. Basically the what were they from Advance Wars? They were like the you know the one, you know the really terrible ones that meant everything was a standstill and no one could make a move. They're those guys. The trebuchets, they can't move in the same thing, and they critical hit at max range. So basically, the closer these guys are, the better, and the further away these guys are, the better. And lastly, the Gloom Giant, an immensely powerful unit, critical hit when at 40% health or less. So I was not aware these were a thing. I've decided I'm only ever going to make Gloom Giants. If you make a Gloom Giant, you win.
He looked like a Groot that like goes on roids and heads to the gym every second day.
He'd look like a gym goer. Fucking got him. But yeah, so basically, very similar, very familiar. I'm so sorry my turns are taking ages.
No, you're fine.
Notorious for taking way too long to explain things, but that's half of my channel.
Exactly, it's fine because I need to learn this too. So everything you're telling the audience and stuff, I did not know either.
Exactly, yes. All of the units are the same for each class. The only differences between the commanders and things like that are what, well, first of all, what colour you are, and second of all, what your special ability is. You can disable special abilities in the menu, so you don't need to use them, but really that's the only difference. It seems balanced and quite fair. And really, it's just the exact same as Advance Wars in every single game. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because there was that game that came out. I don't know if you know it, but you know FTL, that game that I'm.
Oh yeah, Faster Than Light.
Yes, exactly. They came up and tried to convince you to play for a very long time. It's a great game, and they made a sequel. Not a sequel, but they made another game, as it's more commonly known. And it was called Into the Breach, and I liked it. It was good, not anywhere near as good as FTL, but it was still great fun, really, really good. And it was a lot like Advance Wars 2, and I don't know, it seems like there's been a massive resurgence in strategy games recently. I've been seeing a lot of strategy games come out. Like, it kind of feels like things have settled down in terms of wanting to make big action, flashy graphics things, and now maybe the indie scene has something to do with that. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe. I actually don't know much about FTL personally. So, and sorry, I was reading my...
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Oh, I was like, God, she really has no saying on this. It's very
I'm sorry.
No, you focus on this, because that's...
as he said, I actually forgot to say it out, his units are very much the same as mine in that he does have ballistas and giants and all that, but there's slight differences depending on the commanding unit.
Oh, cool.
So, I will announce what I just did. I got a puppy last turn, and this turn I have chosen to get a healing mage, because hell, I ain't going without healers.
I didn't know those existed. I want a healing mage.
Sorry about that.
Critical hit when defense is 3 or above. Oh, also, I forgot to mention defense. If you're inside of like a terrain, like say inside of a forest or on a mountain range or something like that, maybe in a river, your defense will go up and you'll take less damage. So what is this? Critical hit when defense is 3 or above. I'm assuming that means a critical heal.
Yeah, critical heal.
Oh, I see. So
unless they have an extra attack.
They might. We don't know. I'll just need to injure you, and we'll find out if they can do both. So I think for now, by the way, all Advance Wars games start off by, well, it really depends. Like, it depends on how aggressive you are. And in every game I play, I try to be as manly and overcompensating as possible in everything that I do, because I like things to move faster. I think it's more interesting. But in this regard, also, an interesting thing, and I kind of regret telling this to George, but like a big factor of what made Advance Wars great is there's always one choke point that you get to, where like if you control the choke point, you will end up having a massive advantage over, say, the other person. For example, around here, there doesn't seem to be a massive choke point. The only thing I can see is around kind of the middle section, like around here and here. So say I wanted to get control of George's thing, get an advantage over it. The thing I should do would be take over this area here to kind of push her back and get more gold income, which I could then capitalize on. But for this actually seems like a kind of a simplistic map, because there's no real choke point that incentivizes aggression, which is interesting to me, because it could just become a stalemate of us building units and things like that. So I've noticed that, and it's terrible playing a strategy game with someone who's in the call with you, because I'm just getting all of my tactics out. But I noticed she built a healing mage, so that implies that she's going to be much more kind of forted up and defensive. Maybe she's going to focus on defending one certain bit, and having maybe trebuchets set up would complement that. But I'm building a bunch of pooches. I'm going full pooch build, so that kind of encourages me being aggressive and, for lack of a better word, quick about things. Also, my turn hasn't ended, which implies there's something I can do. Oh, this is a thing you can buy stuff from. I did not know that. Let me put this guy here. So it encourages me to kind of play more aggressively, but encourages George to kind of hold areas and play more tactically. You know?
Yep, and just speaking about that, I noticed while you were chatting, you know how some areas boost your defense?
Yes.
Some places I just realized give you negative defense.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I just put a couple of my units in the water because I wanted to get them to a place quickly.
Yeah.
And it's actually classed as a hazard with 2 skulls over it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never... could you point out on your screen to me which one this is?
Here, in this
yeah,
river. If you hover over him, you will see that he's got like 2 skulls over him.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, in the bottom left there. Yeah. Great, that must mean his defense is lowered. And
Yeah.
let's see, I don't have anybody in a fort or anything. By the way, this is George capturing a fort as well. But the fort has +1 defense, so if you're in there, you get a +1 bonus. I don't have anybody to show off defense. Actually, this guy might have. No, bridges do not offer defense. Why would they? That was a stupid thing to think about. But yeah, so defense can go up and down. So using terrain is another really important thing, which is going to be important to George, especially since her mage gives advantage on terrain. I was always terrible at having terrain advantages in Advance Wars. I never paid attention to that. I was always way more into... Mainly, I used air forces a lot in Advance, but I was really young when those games came out. That was like... God, that was like 2002, the last Advance Wars.
Wow.
Yeah, so... what age was I then? I would have been 8. 8-year-old Oshin was not a tactical mastermind, so... I also played the DS one when I was quite old. The DS one was the first one I ever played, and that came out maybe 2005, 2006. And I loved that one. I was a bit older then, 11, so my tactical brain had fully developed at that stage. But yeah, and that was my last experience with it. And honestly, I haven't played many strategy games since then.
Apart from this guy.
Apart from Disgaea, yeah, which is a game that you mastered when you were about 6. So it's not looking extremely balanced right now. What was the last strategy game? The last new strategy game you've played? Do you remember?
Last newest strategy game was probably Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh yeah, that's right. And honestly, like, I don't love the newer Fire Emblem games. I do prefer the older ones, but I still respected Awakening. I thought it was fun. It had its moments. It was very anime. It was overpoweringly anime. Which is like,
it was a game that was made almost entirely for the waifus,
yes,
in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a. I don't want to say it was a waifu simulator. You know about like the fact that they Fire Emblem used to have what was it again? They used to have this feature where like if you got to an S tier ranking with someone, you could rub their face and raise. Did you not know that? Yeah, in the Japanese version of Fire Emblem, you could.
That's so creepy.
It was really, really creepy, and then it was taken out in the Western version because they were like, "That's fucking creepy," and then everyone was like, why would you remove this? Why is it Western censorship? They always do this to us. And I was like, no, get that fucking trash out of my game. I do not want this at all. But yeah, there was a big uproar and a big not a controversy necessarily. It was a weeb controversy, you know. So,
weeb controversy.
Yeah, and I don't want to like if that interested you. I don't want to be like so patronising and derogative and be like, oh fuck you. But it just, I don't know. Using a stylus to rub face is just not my type of game, you know.
It's a bit freaky. The only time I would ever condone it is with Pokemon Me.
Pokemon Me?
Yeah, it was in the newer Pokemon games. You could pet your Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did that in black and white, didn't they?
No, it wasn't black and white. I think
Really?
it was X and Y.
Oh, was it?
Mm.
I remember I think I did that in the newest one that came out, Sun and Moon, and I liked it, but I was just trying so hard to get through that game as fast as possible that I was like, I don't care about rubbing my Pokemon. Just let me get to the Elite Four so I can beat the tutorial of that game. But yeah, I liked it though, and I thought it was fun. It was a good idea too, and it kind of made Pokemon feel a lot more realistic and worldly, you know?
Yeah, and it was just heckin' cute.
Yes, exactly. It was heckin' cute.
Also, I just realised another thing while I was moving my units there.
Yeah.
The dog and the mage cannot capture.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Hold on. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Your commanders cannot Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. That's an advantage I desperately need. Yeah, the units. Wait, are you telling me the dog units can't capture either?
Yeah.
Well, going full
shit.
dog build was a bit of a mistake. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna fix this problem and we will be right back. But thank you very much for thank you very much for watching. And George is just disconnected to anybody who's curious. But you know, that makes it exciting. There's nothing if not drama in this channel. I'm sorry the first episode was so kind of slow moving and tutorializing-y, but from now on we're going to be a lot faster with turns and moves and things like that, and we're going to finish up this battle. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. So, bye!
Bye!
Bye.